Hello Internet, welcome to Technical Interview Key Point Review. Today we're going to be looking at StringBuilder. A quick note before we start, if you are a JavaScript user most importantly, if you are doing your interview in JavaScript, go away. You don't need this video. Close it right now. You don't need it. Don't worry about it. All right? But if you're not, it's pretty important for you. It's pretty important for you. Okay, what is a string builder? Why do you need that? Why the hell do you want a string builder when you can just add two strings together? Well, the point here is actually a remedy of a problem that we have. So in most popular programming language, strings are immutable. They're immutable, meaning after initialization, you can't change them at all. So when you're adding two strings together, say we have hello plus world. If you're adding them together, what you're actually doing is you're making a new string, and you're copying every character one by one into that new string and make the hello world. That doesn't seem like a very big problem, right? It can be. If you write them in a for loop, a for loop or a while loop. Well, say if you have a for loop, you have a string initialized as an empty string, and you're adding 1 through 100 to that string. So you want 1 and you want 1, 2. What you're actually doing is 1 plus 2, and you make another copy, and plus 3, you make another copy, so on and so forth. After 100 iteration, you're actually making 100 copy a new string. You're actually making 100 new string. And that's how long is that gonna take? The first time it's gonna take 1. Second time it's gonna take 2, so on and so forth until 100. So 1 through n depends on what's the n you have. 1 through n. So that, based on the equation we have, is n squared. That's not efficient at all, right? Let me change it back to white here. So that's where StringBuilder comes into play. So StringBuilder essentially, it's a buffer. It's a buffer. You can put things in there. It's essentially a array. That's how to implement it, I believe. It's an array. If you put in string 1, string 2, they are not added up immediately. They're just in this buffer. They're in here in an array. Until the very end, you call toString on your string builder. Then they're gonna copy everything in here and make a new string for you. So it's only gonna copy n time, depends on n equals your character length of the final string. So it's a lot more efficient. But the point I want to make is, if you are just adding two strings, then it's fine. Just add it. It's fine. I mean, it's costing n time anyway, right? But if you're writing, the other point I want to make is, you can't do this, but when you're doing this, explain this to your interviewer. Say, hey, I know if I add this to, this is happening, but I'm not gonna bother to use a string builder because it's only two strings. It's fine. It's gonna cost n time, so it's fine, right? But if you're adding string in a for loop, anything like in a for loop, in a while loop, anywhere that each iteration require you to add a new piece of string into the existing one, you better use a string builder. That's gonna make the whole thing O(n) fast instead of O(n) square. That's a big bottleneck change to your algorithm. So be sure to use that when you're interviewing. And by the way, there are two things. There's a string that you've probably seen this. There's a string builder. There's a string builder, and there's a string buffer, right? Almost always in your interview, if you're entry level, just use string builder because string buffer is synchronized. It's gonna be slower than string builder because it's synchronized. So almost always in your interview, you want to use string builder instead of string buffer. That said, the point I made at the very beginning that JavaScript users or people who are gonna take the interview in JavaScript users should not be worrying about this. It's because the operator in JavaScript is gonna be evaluated by the browser. And the browser nowadays, they are so optimized and they know how to handle this, and they are actually preferring the operator than the concat method of string concatenation. And that's why JavaScript user, you can just use the plus sign. It's fine. But for us, like Java, C#, and anything popular in that regard, you probably want to use a string builder instead. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button and the bell button. Support this channel. I'm not even putting ads, just asking you for subscribing. Have a good night.